Christan Rainey joined the North Charleston Fire Department in 2013 as a firefighter, and years later, he's now one of the captains. I sit down one-on-one with Mr. Rainey for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Captain Rainey, it's so good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You are Christan Rainey, a captain for the North Charleston Fire Department. I know you told Harv Jacobs with Live by News this called Strange, but it will catch on.
Yes, sir.
How are people catching on to you as captain there?
I mean, it's only been 2 shifts for me, so, you know, it's an adjustment for me just being in a role that I've been in an acting role, but being more in a permanent role. You know, it's just something to get used to, the level of respect, you know, obviously the guys have for you and their expectations from you to lead them.
You talk about lead. How did you turn this tragedy, what happened to your family 12 years ago, into triumph, now you being a fire captain?
I mean, just God. I mean, I don't know what other way to put it. I mean, you know, looking at myself 12 years ago, I mean, not even 12, you know, 5, 6 years ago, I wouldn't think that I would be in the predicament that I am now, progressing the way that I am, doing the things that I'm doing. But, you know, it just shows you when God has his hands on your life and has a plan for you that, you know, everything is possible and eventually you'll line up.
Yeah, you also told Harv this too. It took you 7 years to wrap around what happened and find out God's purpose for your life, which is to save lives. During that 7 years, what was it like for you to be you?
It was hell. You know, just to be frank, I mean, I didn't know why I was here. I didn't understand, you know, if, you know, God loved me the way that, you know, we express in the way that we talk about, why would he allow something like that to happen to me? And I mean, it was crushing. It was trying to find your identity all over again of who you were, coming to grips that, you know, all the accomplishments that I make in life will be without my mom being present. So, you know, I hear a lot from people, you know, how proud my mom would be, but, you know, it hurts because I never get to hear from her. So, I mean, but, you know, I just know that I got to keep pressing, and in that time, it was the best move for me was when I went to Florida and I was by myself. It was the first time that I wasn't in a relationship, wasn't surrounded by a family or surrounded by someone. So I had nothing but me and God to kind of deal with. And I mean, it was a lot of soul searching for me, you know, just me and my thoughts, meditation, prayer. And when I got back home, things just started coming together and I started understanding. You know, I kind of needed that break, but everything worked out.
And you also said that this particular job, working for North Charleston Fire Department, is basically your only way to stay sane.
Yep.
How can you describe yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Next 5 to 10 years, I don't know. I mean, you know, I pray to God that I'm still on this earth, for one. You know, and I just plan on being, you know, a better leader tomorrow than I was today. And just learning from my mistakes, learning from, you know, other people's mistakes, and, you know, treat people how I want to be treated and how I wanted to be treated, you know, coming up in the fire service. So, you know, I believe in leadership, not management, and I believe in, you know, service leadership, you know, because if you really want people to work for you, respect you, you know, you lead them from the front, not from the back. So, I mean, in the next 5 years for me, I'm just, you know, looking to still be a part of the fire service, still, you know, paying my debt to my community, and also, you know, being a good father, a good husband.
Yeah.
And, you know, MAD taking off to where, you know, we're nationwide. I mean, that's my goal. That's my goal.
You talk about MAD. Where are we with this organization right now in your mind?
I mean, honestly, I mean, my mind as far as is very complex when it comes to math, because, you know, what people see as success, I look at the future and what I want for the organization versus where we're at right now. I mean, in the last 5 years, we're coming a long way. In the last 2 years, we've made a huge jump with the things that we do in schools, the amount of schools that we're in. And we're going to be hosting, I guess you would be the first person to know, but we're hosting a domestic violence conference in October, the 24th through the 26th at the College of Charleston North Campus. And we haven't said anything about it yet, so you're actually the first person that I've told. You know, but I just find it important. This is something that I've been holding on to for a long time, and you know, it's just part of that progression. And you know, this year God put me in the right place with the right people, and you know, they told me if it's my time, then it'll work out, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
So very excited about that and where we're going in the future. And we just plan on just changing the conversation. You know, I don't like the same rigmarole, the same talks. You know, we have to, you know, be real with ourselves and real about our past and our culture in domestic violence. You know, demographically, it doesn't matter what race you are, everybody's affected by it. And we have to be honest with ourselves and understand that as men, we play a huge role in this thing. And until we start coming to the table and making the proper changes and being a good example for our kids, it's never going to change.
I hate to ask this, but what is the state of, it might be a silly question, but when you look at domestic violence in South Carolina, where does your mind go to right now in 2018?
2018, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the 6 deaths that we had in 6 months. Just, you know, as much as I would like to say we're making strides, which we are, but there's a lot more things that we need to do, a lot more laws that need to be passed. We have to build on the foundation that we laid with Senate Bill 3. There's a lot of, you know, things that need to just be, I wouldn't say fair across the board, but just need to be implemented across the board through law enforcement. I mean, our local law enforcement has done a good job, but, you know, we have to be unified with our judges and the way that they handle these cases and make sure that we're following the updated laws which are enforced to keep our victims safe. I mean, I haven't been in a predicament, but I can only imagine from the women that I've talked to how scary it is to leave a situation like that. And knowing that that's the most dangerous time for a woman.
And when you wrap up your domestic violence conference in October, what do you want people to say about that conference?
That it was something different, and that it was a revelation or a path to the future of how we handle domestic violence. Because we talk about domestic violence in different scopes. We talk about it from advocacy, but they stay in their corner, counseling, they're in their corner, medical side, they're in their corner. We don't talk about how, you know, drug addiction has affected, you know, domestic violence as well. So we're bringing all of those conversations, including the faith-based, all of those things together to have the same conversation and figure out how we can work together in order to make this thing work.
Wow. Well, we'll be waiting for that to happen in October.
Yes, sir.
Well, Captain Christan Rainey, thank you so much for your time again. I really appreciate this.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.